Hello, I'm Patrick Hirsch, and this is a presentation on forensic analysis that can be performed with the metadata within digital photographs for CIT 430 Computer Forensics in the spring of 2022. As with all files on a modern file system, digital photographs will contain details on the file, but additionally it will contain details on the photograph. These include details like when it was captured, geolocation data if available, and settings of the camera at the time of the photograph. Even Windows Explorer will provide you with enough details to take a look at the metadata within a file and even change some of its fields. There are other tools out there available to take a more scrutinous look at the details, including those dedicated specifically to photographs. Three such tools are ExifTool, the most popular program for reading and writing metadata. It's kind of the go-to. Geotagger, a Linux GUI tool designed to examine photographs metadata with a focus on the location data. And a web-based tool called Forensically, which is designed to view the metadata of an image, but also provides a few features of analyzing the image itself. To analyze these three tools, a mock investigation will be performed. Data was collected from two digital cameras, a Canon EOS Rebel T5 and a TCL T770B smartphone. From each device, 3 photographs were captured of the same subject from the same location, just a couple seconds apart. It's worth noting that the accuracy of the metadata recorded is dependent on the sensors used to record it. The Canon EOS Rebel T5 has a user-set clock to record the timestamps, as where the TCL T770B smartphone has a satellite set clock, which would be more accurate. The Canon EOS Rebel T5 requires an additional component to record the location data, and from my personal experience, I can tell you the smartphone's GPS is very faulty. Alright, so we've now got our evidence in this zip here. If we real quick just do a hash on that and store it in a notes file and take a look at what that was. We can now unzip our evidence, and we've got them sorted by which camera, and this one, which we'll get to in a bit. Looking at here, captured from the mobile device, we've got some flags, same flags, tree, and the original pancake house. From the actual camera, we've got the flags, the tree again, and once again, the original pancake house. So now, if we take a look at ExifTool real quick, and we load up one of the files from the mobile device, we are given a bunch of information on that image. Most importantly, what we're interested in, which file it is, the GPS data, and the timestamp. Well, ExifTool can just as easily return just the fields you want. We can also just as easily run ExifTool on all the files here and run that through an egrep with the regex limiting it to when the field starts with a file break, GPS, or date/time. And now we've got the date and location info on each of our files, which is enough to figure out where and when each was captured, however, isn't immediately telling on its own. Fortunately, we can open up another one of our tools, geotagging, and load into it all of our images, and it immediately plots them all out on a map, as well as giving us each image and its file name, date and time, and location. So, from here, if we take a look at the flags captured from the actual camera, we can see they were located right here in Pendry Sports Park. And that seems to be the same for both of these captured with the canyon. If we look at the same image from the TCL, we see they are a little bit apart. If we switch to a satellite view, we can see what appears to be some flagpoles right there, where the canyon captured them. And here, flagpoles are not immediately visible. Having been the one to capture the data, I can tell you the canyon is correct and the location was around here. If we go on to the tree, the canyon immediately places us up here, which we can conclude to be up in Westchester, and we could see there was in fact a tree. Same is true for the other images of the tree captured by that camera. If we go to the one captured by the mobile device, we are quite a whiles away, back in Highland Heights. Not sure where it went wrong there, but I can tell you this was in Westchester, not Highland Heights. If we take a look at this image of the original pancake house, we can see here, there it does in fact say the original pancake house, and that is about the correct location. And if we go to the one captured by the mobile device, strangely, same location as the tree. These two, it's worth noting, are not that far off. However, this is way off, so the mobile device's GPS was significantly mistaken on this one. Now you may notice here it says edit. Both ExifTool and geotagging do offer the ability to edit the metadata within these files, although that shouldn't be utilized in a forensics investigation. One last tool we've got here, Forensically, is a web-based tool. However, it works client-side and thus does not send images to an external server. It also works offline if you want to be extra cautious using it. So if we open one of our files here, we can see from a metadata perspective, it has a tab to view all the metadata right there, as well as geotags, where it will give you the location, as well as allowing you to open the location on OpenStreetMaps, Google Maps, and also allowing you to view other images from around the area on Flickr. It's also got a JPEG analysis of the image itself, potentially if there's some steganography going on in the image as well. And also it's got a string extraction tab, which will pull out interesting strings from the binary code as ASCII. Now, the real reason I chose this tool is because of some of the other features it has for analyzing the image itself for potential changes to it, including this clone detection. So I went ahead and modified that image to edit out the logo there. And as we wait for this to load, as you can see, it failed to notice the rather sloppy clone job done right there, regardless of how you adjust the settings from what I have detected. However, if you do show this quantized image here, it does recognize that's a very similar looking area. However, if you scroll down here to the string extraction, you can see this file was modified in Photoshop. So what else can be discovered? If we come over here to the magnifier, and under histogram equalization or auto contrast, really any of these will pick up that Right over here, I spelled out in the sky, I am Groot. Though that seems to be the only modification that can be found. Unless we head over here to air level analysis, and if we just kind of crank everything up to the extremes, you can see I also spelled out here, I am Iron Man. Now this tool does not have the ability to write files, while the other two technically do. However, I don't believe we utilize that functionality. So if we come over here real quick, and we re-zip our evidence, and we run a SHA-256 sum on that, and append that to our notes, and we check on what that is, and we check on what that is real quick. We can see the integrity of the files has not been modified in this investigation. Given the same conclusions are drawn from each file for any given tool, and with EXIFTool being an accepted standard, we can verify the validity of each tool tested. However, the data captured is only as good as the sensors capturing it. The TCL was off by several miles in one case, and the Canyon's clock was not accurate to the second, to the point that it disrupts a sorted timeline of events, showing that I arrived at the original Pancake House a little before I actually did.